Welcome to Locked and Loaded Sports. It's time to lock in, load up, and win big. If you're serious about sports and love cashing in on solid picks, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and let's get to work. In this video, we will discuss the NFL Championship games with a pick on the spread and one for the total. That's 2 free picks per game, using a blend of historical data, advanced sports analytics, and real-world sentiment to deliver sharp and sometimes contrarian betting picks. We are starting with the AFC Championship game, where the stage is set for a high-altitude showdown as the New England Patriots travel to Empower Field at Mile High to face the Denver Broncos. Odds makers are showing the Patriots much respect, with the spread making them solid favorites on the road, which presents a fascinating clash between a red-hot juggernaut and a resilient top seed facing a sudden quarterback crisis. There are significant indicators that the New England Patriots could win by margin and continue their dominant postseason run. The Patriots enter this game as the hottest team in football, boasting a perfect 5-0 record both straight up and against the spread in their last 5 outings. Their offense is firing on all cylinders, averaging over 28 points per game behind the emerging stardom of Drake Maye and his chemistry with his receivers. Defensively, New England is playing at an elite level, having just dismantled the Texans by forcing 5 turnovers. Statistically, the Patriots hold a massive advantage in yards per pass differential and have been incredibly reliable on the road, covering the spread in 8 of their last 9 away games. Against a Denver team that has historically struggled against them, covering 8 of the last 12 meetings, the Patriots appear primed to exploit a massive mismatch at the most important position on the field. However, the Denver Broncos have several factors working in their favor that suggest they can protect their home turf and keep this game within the number. Despite losing star QB Bo Nix to a season-ending ankle injury, the Broncos remain the #1 seed for a reason, backed by a defense that ranks 4th in scoring and recently forced 5 turnovers against the Bills. Denver is a formidable force at home, sporting a 14-1 record in their last 15 games at Mile High. Head coach Sean Payton is a master of offensive adjustment and has a veteran in Jarrett Stidham who is intimately familiar with the system and capable of managing a game plan focused on a heavy rushing attack. Historically, Denver has been a nightmare for New England and Colorado, winning 15 of their last 21 home meetings against the Patriots. If the Broncos can leverage the thin air and their dominant home field advantage to rattle Drake Maye, who has shown a tendency to fumble under pressure, they could easily keep this a 1-score game. While Denver's home dominance is legendary, we believe the drop-off from a dynamic playmaker like Bo Nix to Jarrett Stidham is too steep to overcome against the New England defense that is currently a turnover-generating machine. The Patriots possess a superior scoring offense and a significant edge in passing efficiency that should allow them to pull away in the second half. Expect New England's defensive front to overwhelm and adjust the Denver game plan, leading to a big victory and a trip to the Super Bowl. We are getting locked and loaded with the Patriots to cover. Please leave a comment with your favorite picks of championship week. It helps our channel out a bunch. Thank you so much. Now we turn the page to focus on the total, which rightfully so is in the low 40s. This creates a high-stakes debate between those expecting a defensive slugfest and those who see enough offensive firepower to clear the bar. The case for the over-focus is on the explosive potential of Drake Maye and the opportunistic nature of the Denver scoring attack. New England enters this game with the 5th-ranked scoring offense in the league, and they have cleared the total in 6 of their last 7 games. Despite the pressure of the playoffs, the Patriots have maintained a high-scoring floor, consistently putting up 28 or more points in recent weeks. Additionally, while Denver is starting backup Jarrett Stidham, the Broncos proved in their 33-30 shootout against Buffalo that their offense can still be productive in high-pressure environments. Historical trends also support a higher scoring affair, as the total has gone over in 10 of the last 15 meetings between these 2 franchises in Denver. If Drake Maye continues his deep strike dominance and the Broncos can manage even a modest defensive output, the game could easily climb into the mid-40s. On the other hand, the case for the under is built on the significant quarterback change in Denver and the elite status of both defensive units. With Bo Nix sidelined by a broken ankle, the Broncos are expected to employ a far more conservative, vanilla game plan to protect Jarrett Stidham from a New England defense that just forced 5 turnovers against Houston. Denver boasts the 4th-ranked scoring defense in the league and will likely aim to turn this into a grinder to keep the game within reach. Furthermore, Drake Maye has struggled with ball security recently, fumbling 4 times in the divisional round, which often leads to stalled drives and a more cautious approach from coaching staffs. If the Patriots defense manages to suffocate Stidham and the Broncos' elite secondary contains Maye's vertical passing game, points will be at a premium in a thin mile-high air. While New England's offense is potent, the combination of a backup quarterback in Denver and 2 top-tier defenses suggests a low-scoring, physical battle. We expect a final score in the realm of 21-13 or 23-10, as the Broncos' defensive grit and a simplified offensive approach for Stidham keep the scoreboard from moving quickly. We are getting locked and loaded with the under. If you want to be a part of the tribe, don't forget to subscribe. We appreciate you. Our next championship Sunday game takes us to the Pacific Northwest for a heavyweight rubber match between the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. This is the third time these division rivals have met this season, and with the trip to the Super Bowl on the line, the stakes could not be higher. The top-seeded Seattle Seahawks enter this game with the most formidable defense in the league under head coach Mike Macdonald. They are coming off a legendary defensive performance where they completely dismantled the San Francisco 49ers. Seattle's defense is currently allowing just 6 points per game over their last 3 outings, a mark of consistency that has Vegas favoring them by 2.5 points at home. On the offensive side of the ball, Sam Darnold has found a new rhythm, leaning on Kenneth Walker and the explosive Jaxon Smith to keep the chains moving. While Darnold is managing a slight oblique injury, his confidence has never been higher after leading Seattle to a historic comeback victory against these very Rams just a few weeks ago in December. The Los Angeles Rams, however, are a veteran squad that refuses to go away quietly. Despite playing through a sprained index finger, Matthew Stafford remains one of the few quarterbacks who has consistently found answers for Seattle's defensive schemes. The Rams possess the #1 scoring offense in the league and showed incredible resilience in their snowy overtime victory against the Chicago Bears. The connection between Stafford and Puka Nacua is arguably the most dangerous in football, and the addition of Davante Adams has made this unit nearly impossible to shut out. While the Rams have struggled with consistency on the road, they boast a historical dominance in this rivalry, having covered the spread in 9 of their last 11 meetings against Seattle. When we look at the stats, the battle lines are clear. Seattle has the edge in defensive efficiency and home field momentum, while the Rams have the statistical advantage in offensive explosive plays and historical betting trends. The Seahawks are 5-0 in their last 5 home games, but the Rams are 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 trips to Seattle. It is the classic matchup of the league's most immovable defense against its most high-powered veteran offense. While the Seahawks are playing elite football and may very well win the game, the Rams have proven time and again that they can keep this specific matchup within a single score. With Matthew Stafford's experience in high-pressure environments and the Rams' relentless ability to move the ball through the air, expect this to be a close game that comes down to the final possession. We are getting locked and loaded with the Rams to cover, with a lean on buying a point to get the spread over a field goal. Friendly reminder to smash that like button. Thank you. Shifting our focus to the total, which is set in the mid to high 40s, we find a betting line caught between the league's most explosive offensive statistical trends and a defense that is currently rewriting the record books. There are compelling reasons why the game could explode into a shootout or grind down into a defensive struggle. The case for the over rests on the elite offensive production both teams have maintained throughout the season. The Los Angeles Rams feature the #1 scoring offense in the league, averaging over 30 points per game, and they have seen the total go over in 7 of their last 8 contests. Matthew Stafford has a wealth of weapons at his disposal, and their ability to score quickly can force opponents into high-scoring tracks. On the other side, Seattle has shown they can contribute heavily to a high total, as seen in their previous meeting with the Rams, where the two teams combined for 75 points in an overtime thriller. With the Seahawks averaging 29 points per game and boasting a record-setting receiver in Jaxon Smith, both teams have the personnel to surpass this total easily if the game becomes a back-and-forth affair. Conversely, the case for the under is anchored by the historic recent form of the Seattle defense. Under Mike Macdonald, the Seahawks have transformed into a defensive juggernaut, allowing an average of only 6 points per game over their last 3 outings. They can stifle even the most creative offensive schemes. Furthermore, championship games often feature a more conservative approach as teams lean on their running games to minimize mistakes. The weather forecast for Sunday evening in Seattle calls for cool temperatures and light rain, conditions that traditionally favor a ground-based attack and lead to longer, clock-draining drives. Historically, 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two rivals have stayed under the total, suggesting that their familiarity often breeds defensive stalemates. While both offenses are capable of big plays, the intensity of a conference championship and Seattle's current defensive momentum suggests a game played in the low 20s. Expect a hard-hitting, physical contest where the elements and playoff pressure keep the scoring in check. We are getting locked and loaded with the under. That wraps up another breakdown here on Locked and Loaded Sports. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on the latest sports analysis and betting insights. More picks, more locks, and more action is coming your way. That's all for now. Stay sharp, stay ready, and get locked and loaded.